What's up, y'all? I'm Jordy, and today we're using a super cool team that features Technician Pop Bomb Maushold and a Wide Guard Mystic Water Water Bubble Araquanid, which can do some insane damage. Plus, we've got Pelipper to boost it in the rain. Great team. This team was created by Jay Jingles. I'll make sure to link them in the description below. And this team also features two really powerful megas. We've got Raichu Y with its standard set Zap Cannon, Focus Blast, Fake Out, Protect. And we've got a Mega Floette. Just Calm Mind, Dazzling Gleam, Moonblast. All you need is fairy coverage on this thing, which is good because that's all it gets. Maushold and Raichu and Incineroar, and even Wide Guard from Araquanid can all help it set up, so that's very nice. But this Maushold set is completely wild. We've got Follow Me, which is normal on a Maushold. We've got Pop Bomb with Wide Lens and Technician, which is an incredibly powerful move, able to just one-shot some neutral targets. Tidy Up is a thing you'll never see. But this is really interesting on this Maushold because we've got a little bit of ways to support it with Fake Out Raichu and Incineroar. And what it is, it's basically Dragon Dance that also gets rid of all the hazards on the field, which aren't very common in VGC, but it's a Maushold with Dragon Dance. And it also has Bite as some coverage. It's boosted by Technician. It has a good flinch chance. Very interesting. Now, a couple of the spreads on here I'm going to be using differently. The Raichu on this team is max special attack, max speed. If that's what you like, go for it. But I'm using a bulkier spread, just faster than base 120s, and then a lot of defense investment. And this Incineroar I didn't notice until after playing with it is a kind of a weird spread. It's got a lot of attack investment and defense investment rather than HP. I'm not sure if I like that. It may have some specific calcs that I'm unaware of, but it's not a set I would prefer. But it is the set I use in this video, so you'll see how it works. But anyways, let's just get into it. Alright, Sand with Frostless, that's pretty cool. They've got Como-O, Tyranitar Excadrill, Frostless, Sneasler, and Greninja. I would guess it's not Mega Greninja, I would guess it's the two Megas or the two Weather Setters. Either way, Pelipper looks useful. Just to put rain over top of whatever it is they want to do. Floette seems pretty good into everything that isn't Excadrill. And I guess Sneasler. Whereas Raichu is quite fast. Also weak to Excadrill, so Excadrill's going to be a problem one way or another. I do really like Araquanid, though. Do something with Araquanid doing big damage. I think I'm going to go with Raichu Araquanid, and then I want Pelipper and probably Incineroar. Intimidate could be really great here. Maushold going on the offensive doesn't really work. They've got two fighting types to hit us, a Ghost, a Rock type, and a Steel type. The matchups for Maushold are just not there. Alright. They've got nothing, no title, no badges. Okay, Sneasler Greninja, not at all what I was expecting. Thankfully, we have a faster Fake Out. I was gonna say I'm not that worried about Greninja, but I don't know whether to be worried about Greninja or not. I think I want to just rip a Liquidation into somebody while I go for a Fake Out into the Sneasler, just so it can't Fake Out. And I'll send a Liquidation also at the Sneasler. I guess, obviously I'm doubling the Sneasler, so it's Mega Greninja. I did not expect them to have Mega Greninja, but it's not too surprising. But it's a little surprising, that's for sure. Araquanid should have a pretty good matchup into that. It does matter what type they turn into, though. Alright, we've got our Mega Pikachu. They've got their Mega Greninja. And Greninja goes for Dark Pulse. Okay. Greninja simply has a higher base speed. There we go. Then Raichu Y. Raichu gains 20 points on Mega Evolution, whereas Greninja gains actually quite a few points. So I would expect it to still be faster, basically. I think since they went for Dark Pulse there, it's likely safe for me to go into my Incineroar to get this Intimidate off. And then, honestly, the Excadrill still seems scarier, so maybe I just Liquidate into Excadrill and bring in Incineroar for Raichu here. We can get a Fake Out later. Maybe come in at a point where we're not being outsped by everything and launch a Focus Blast into their Excadrill or maybe their Tyranitar, who they should have in the bag. Alright, Dark Pulse, Araquanid, plus Rock Slide, which misses Araquanid. I love that. As long as we didn't flinch from the Dark Pulse, we should be able to do a great hit. Yup! Araquanid, let's go! Bop. Love to see that. Do I bother launching the Fake Out into Excadrill knowing it'll protect? Because I want to Leech Life the currently Dark-type Greninja, get a little bit of health back, even though Liquidation would do more damage. Liquidation's doubled by Water Bubble, this is doubled by Super Effective, but Liquidation's stronger. But I would like to heal up. I'll go for the Fake Out into Excadrill. It seems obvious that they'll just protect it. Seems like it's just a double protect, so whatever I do, it doesn't matter. That's fine. What would I expect to see here? I would expect you would want to go for a Rock Slide. And you don't have stab on water moves on your Greninja, so honestly, what if I go for Wide Guard? And Throat Chop the Excadrill. That might work. They could have high horsepower, I guess. And if they go for that... I mean, we've intimidated them, though, so I don't know if that even would KO. Alright, just a Dark Pulse from Greninja, not too surprising. But Rock Slide is blocked. Lovely. No more Excadrill. This also means you're forced to bring in probably Tyranitar, and we get to take Weather Control from you. Though our Araquanid is not super useful anymore. Oh, it's Garchomp. Oh, it's a Garchomp as the name on a Tyrant. That's funny. I was like, do they have a Garchomp? No, they don't have a Garchomp. Okay. I'm going to do Wide Guard again. And hit a Parting Shot on the Greninja. Because I'm sure Tyranitar is tempted to go for Rock Slide here. Which, even if Araquanid goes down to a Dark Pulse, the Wide Guard stays. So we should be able to block that. Araquanid, you were super useful. Yep, and there's Rock Slide, perfect. Now we can get out, lower the Greninja's special attack. You're stuck at -1 now with no Water Stab. And then we can come back immediately, intimidate this Tyranitar. That'll be great. And I think I'll bring in... Pelipper now. I think it's a fine time to bring in Pelipper. No one has to take Sand Chip this turn then. And right back into Incineroar. And here I'm gonna Fake Out Tailwind, because they double protected earlier. I think they might do it again. And Tailwind could be a big advantage to us. Yeah, we've got a decently fast Pelipper here. The question is who I go for the Fake Out on. I'm going to send it into Tyranitar. We know Greninja can protect. We don't know if Tyranitar can or not. Alright, they choose not to protect anybody. Dark Pulse my Pelipper. It does still do over half. But it doesn't get the flinch. Perfect. Alright, Pelipper is the real damage dealer here. I think I want some chip into Greninja, so I'll go for a Flare Blitz there. They might just outspeed and KO. And I'll launch a Weather Ball at the Tyranitar. This could KO. I don't know how bulky this Tyranitar is. Yeah, we got it. Alright, perfect. Greninja's not going to win this on its own now. Good job, team. Especially Araquanid. Araquanid no longer around, but was very impactful. Ooh, low roll, high roll right there. And I wanted this Flare Blitz because I believe this will put it into range for a Weather Ball from Pelipper, which would be great. Flare Blitz and Weather Ball. I guess if you have Water Shuriken here, you can take out the Pelipper, and then it's still a 2v1. Good game. Alright, a nice game. Alright, Pam, with your Staraptor team, with a Raichu on it. Okay, we both got Raichu, so Raichu games are a scary thing that could be happening here. Whimsicott, Tyranitar, Sylveon, Staraptor, King Gambit. King Gambit's a little bit threatening. Because I'm tempted to maybe go with Floette, but I think maybe I can't go with Floette. Because, like, Raichu and Floette are both good into their Staraptor. But we're not going to be taking speed control. So Staraptor and, like, Raichu to redirect our Raichu would make our Raichu kind of useless. So that's why I'm leaning Floette, and that's what makes King Gambit scary. Maushold is not the worst. Maushold could do pretty decent damage to a lot of that team. Still pretty worried about King Gambit, though. What if it's Mega Raichu plus Maushold? I think that could work. And if I'm worried about, like, Tailwind into close combat into my Maushold, then... Oh, you can't do that and bring in Raichu, right? Alright, perfect. I ended up getting what I wanted there when I timed out in Pelipper and Incineroar. I know it's stressful to bring it down to that last second, but... Pelipper for the Tyranitar to make sure we keep our weather control and potential Tailwind in the late game. And honestly, this is not a bad lead. Our Maushold getting intimidated is a little annoying, but I can launch Fake Out into Staraptor and see if I catch a Raichu switch in. Actually, if I'm going to do that, is it better to keep my Lightning Rod? I think it would be better to hold on to Lightning Rod for a second. Fake Out Staraptor. And yeah, if your Raichu wants to switch in to try to absorb a Zap Cannon, good luck with this Pop Bomb. Yeah? Yeah, okay. I think at even -1, it's a base Raichu. It's not going to appreciate a -1 Technician boosted 10-hit Pop Bomb. The one problem is we don't have Protect on our mouse, so if we don't get this KO, they have a Fake Out turn, and we're pretty vulnerable. That's over 10%. That's over 10%. Ooh, that's a crit. Yeah, goodbye, Raichu. Assuming we just get all the connects. Alright, with a crit, it only took... How many was that? I lost count. It only took 7 with the crit. So yeah, 10, even if we never got a crit, would have been fine. And now we're very threatening to this Staraptor. Hello, Titar. Here, I definitely want to Zap Cannon the Staraptor. We know they have Sylveon behind it. The punish is they protect Staraptor and try to hit me with Tyranitar, in which case I can take advantage of my bulk and Intimidate. And if I'm going to connect a Zap Cannon into no defense boosts Staraptor, I don't care that I give it an attack boost. Yeah, this is what I need to do. This protects me from the play that they just attack with Tyranitar and protect Staraptor, basically. And it gets my attack back on Maushold, so I might be able to one-shot Sylveon later, depending on how bulky it is. And it's not like I was going to do anything to Tyranitar with a -1 Pop Bomb. Yep, there's a Protect. Okay. Like, it also could have been Follow Me, but this might be Rock Slide. Yeah, that would have done... No, Maushold would have been useless here. But now Raichu takes, like, no damage. Awesome. Alright, we confirmed the speed order, but none of that was remotely surprising. Zap Cannon here. Do I want to go for Fake Out into Tyranitar? Not really. It might bring in Sylveon, in which case Parting Shot would be better. It might also Protect, in which case it doesn't matter what I click. I'll go Parting Shot. Alright, they do leave in Tyranitar, which is fine. But now that Staraptor is obliterated, as long as Incineroar gets the chance to move, we'll bring this Tyranitar to -3 before this game ends. So, I mean, a Rock Slide flinch wouldn't be the end of the world, I guess. Yeah, not good, but not the end of the world. So really the threat is the Tyranitar. Just you can't pop on it. So I'm thinking probably bring in Pelipper to reduce its special defense from the sand and just rip Focus Blast here. And if they protect Tyranitar, finish off Raichu. We still have Pelipper, Maushold, which is pretty good offensively there. I think it'll be fine. Focus Blast. Bring in Pelipper. And we can intimidate the Tyranitar again if we have to. Alright, with no special defense boost from Sand, I think this does it. Yeah, goodbye. Raichu going crazy. I see why they wanted their Lightning Rod Raichu around to keep themselves safe from it, but wow. Alright, here we just start launching Pop Bombs. And here's where I would Wide Guard if I had it, but I'll just back it up with a Weather Ball. They don't know whether or not I have Wide Guards. They have to play carefully. And that does over 10%, so that should get the KO. But you can always miss. Oh, see? Only got 5. Thank you, P. Drizzle, for finishing off this game. Alright, not bad. That Pop Bomb Maushold proven very useful in the early game. GG. Alright, Blastoise Trick Room Tailwind team? This feels like a... Yeah, this feels like Blastoise Trick Room. Blastoise Farigiraf, Sylveon, and... Oh, but would you use Blastoise and Mawile? No. Maybe it could be base Blastoise when you use the Mawile mode. That's weird. And then they have Garchomp and Aerodactyl. Probably a... I don't like Charizard alternate version, but we're not using Charizard. Because of Mawile, Floette's kind of awkward. It's not like Raichu's much better. Maushold is pretty cool here. Don't really have ways around Fake Out. Maybe it is Floette. And Araquanid's really slow. Yeah, how about these 4? We can try to set up with Floette if they're going to use special attackers. Make life difficult for them. And this lead would definitely bait that I'm Friend Guard Maushold, which I'm not. And then Araquanid with Wide Guard could be very useful, as well as just being slow, so if Trick Room goes up, it can potentially move before a lot of their team. In fact, I think, if I'm doing the math right, I think we're slower than Midspeed Mawile, so... Aerodactyl Mawile is not something I anticipated. This is probably the worst thing possible. And they're not Intimidate, so they're Hyper Cutters, so we can't even just be like, I'll just Intimidate you with Incin. Great. Let's get some damage with Pop Bomb into Mawile and just protect Floette for now. And I'm not going to Mega Evolve specifically because if they rip Play Rough into Maushold, I mean, that probably KOs anyway. I'm not sure Fairy Aura is going to make a difference. But yikes. What kind of lead? Did you know what I was going to lead? This is terrifying. Yeah, Tailwind plus Mawile. You could be faster than Maushold, or you could not. Depends on your speed. If you're not, that's really good. A crit does 8%. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Another crit. 9, 10 does 57%. The next one might do it if we get another chance. We are getting another chance. Okay. Since we are faster, they have to flinch us with Aerodactyl or lose Mawile. I guess they could Sucker Punch. But I'm happy to go with Gleam, because I'm pretty sure it's going to be Sash Dactyl. And if they go for Sucker Punch into our mouse, and for some reason, and then like double up and KO, I would like to do damage to Mawile. Yeah, this works. Okay, Mawile swaps into Garchomp. Well, we're losing Maushold, that's for sure, but you're losing your Garchomp. Now I hope they Rock Slide flinch our Maushold. That would be awesome. Can you do that for me? Because that Rough Skin's going to take out our Maushold. Alright, flinch the mouse. Flinch the mouse, but not the Floette. Oh, you crit the mouse. And you flinch it. Oh, that went perfect. I'll take that. I'll take that crit. Oh. I thought I was going to take out the Garchomp. Okay. Well, here's a position where Intimidate might work, but Earthquake incoming. Earthquake Rock Slide incoming for sure. Would it be Lorb Chomp? Yeah, probably. How useful is Maushold anyway? Do I sacrifice it here? I think that might be worthwhile. I'll go for Pop Bomb into Aerodactyl and just protect Floette. I assume I'm going to lose Maushold here. But if for some reason I don't, awesome. Wide Guard from Aerodactyl, then presumably Earthquake from Life Orb Garchomp. Which should be strong enough to take out Maushold. Probably takes it out from here. After that crit Rock Slide, probably takes us out even if they're not Life Orb. But I hope they're Life Orb so that they go down and then I can Intimidate your Mawile. Ah, they're not going down. Intimidate? Now, and a Fake Out turn. Yeah, that's probably the play. Last turn of Tailwind, so let's take out Aerodactyl. Fake out Garchomp, Moonblast. Aerodactyl, if it even has Protect, can't Protect right now, because it just clicked Wide Guard. It can click Wide Guard, though, so I can't Gleam. Garchomp swap makes some sense. Into Farig to block Fake Out. That's fine. I'm not faking out the Aerodactyl, who went for Protect anyway. So this wasn't to block Fake Out, really. This was just to save Garchomp, who isn't Life Orb, and seemingly might not have Protect. So they may have also just swapped out so they don't have to deal with Intimidate. With no Tailwind, I could pretty reasonably double your Farigiraf here. Yeah, there's not much stopping me. Alright, what's the math on this Araquanid versus Mawile anyway? Mawile is base 50, that's 70 times 0.9 is 63. Yeah, we're slower than min speed Mawile. So I'm not really worried if that goes up, but I am just going to Gleam and... What if it's Gleam and Parting Shot for Ig? Let Trick Room go up on purpose? No, I definitely don't want that. I'll go for Throat Chop and Gleam. It was between Throat Chop and Flare Blitz, and I guess maybe swapping out was an option. Rock Slide misses our Incineroar, that's good. Gleam connects, that's good. That's a lot of damage to Farigiraf, oh my goodness. I actually could have considered... Okay, it's Citrus Berry Farig, so Throat Chop is a fine play. Oh, they're not going to put Trick Room up. Cool. Farigiraf's almost done. And the Mawile, we know it was slower than Maushold, so we know it's got less than 90 speed. Our Incineroar is 80 speed, so we don't actually know who's faster there. If you go for Sucker Punch... I want to go for Parting Shot on Mawile. And Gleam. Yeah, I think that's fine. Okay, they let me connect the Gleam. There was no Sucker Punch going on. This is definitely game over. We're going to bring it... this should have just been Flare Blitz. I was thinking too hard. They are faster than my Incineroar, but it's fine. We've got so many Pokemon left, it doesn't matter. I was thinking that like if they had gotten up Trick Room by Sucker Punching... It doesn't matter, we'll just attack with both now. They're not going to be able to outspeed Floette with Rock Slide, which would be their only real spread move they ever run. So, you can't stop us both. Big Sucker Punch into Araquanid for a big 30%. Now get out of here. Okay. That was a good game. Araquanid was here. Maushold did pretty good, honestly. It flinched when it needed to. Good game to my opponent. Alright, that's Scizor over there. That's really cool. Staraptor, Glamora, Scizor, Garchomp, Talonflame, and Milotic. Milotic is a problem for our Incineroar. They got a strong Poison type and a strong Steel type, so Floette is scary to use. And it's actually kind of hard to use Araquanid for Wide Guard when they got two birds and a Glamora, all of which are very scary. This is a really scary matchup. I think it is Raichu, and there's an Incineroar around, but not on lead. It could be Raichu or Araquanid Incineroar. I think that works. Then we can potentially Wide Guard Earthquakes. If there is a bird to intimidate, we can intimidate the bird. And finally... Is it my own Tailwind? Or is it Maushold? I think it's Maushold. Maushold can do some big burst damage into Milotic, specifically. which really my only option to Milotic is Zap Cannon it, and if I don't get a Zap Cannon, I need a backup plan when Zap Cannon isn't the way. Talonflame Glamora works for me. Though Araquanid is terrified. I think I want to go straight Zap Cannon into Glamora. And it seems like a fine time to bring in Incineroar. Yeah, because then we can get a fake out turn on one of their Tailwind turns. Intimidate their Talonflame. It'll be fine. It'll be good. It'll be nice. I don't want to Zap Cannon straight into their Talonflame and give them a free switch under their Tailwind. But a weakened Talonflame and a paralyzed Glamora under Tailwind, far less threatening. Now, if they do just knock out Raichu with either like Mega Glamora or like an Earth Power here. Ooh, Quick Guard. That's awesome. We get to Zap Cannon your Glim down to very low health. And it was Earth Power. But Raichu hangs on. Let's go. Alright, you have electric immunities. I can force Talonflame to Quick Guard here with my Fake Out into Talonflame. And I'll go for Focus Blast into Glamora then. Or I could just prevent them from ever getting Tailwind. How much do I care about that? That's not bad. I could zap the Talonflame and Fake it out. Yeah, then you never get Tailwind. Ooh, and a Spiky Shield from Glim. Let's go. That's huge. I get to keep Raichu and prevent you from getting Tailwind. Oh, that's so big. Get out of here. All right. Well, that's awesome. And our Incineroar is probably faster than Glamora when it's paralyzed with no Tailwind up. Scizor Bullet Punch, obviously an issue. But, like, I mean, Flare Blitz into your Scizor is pretty threatening. It's Incineroar, 8160. Yeah, we're faster than Glamora. How about Protect Flare Blitz? Like, that seems okay. And if you have Feint on Scizor, that's really rough here. Alright, Protect Scizor. Good play. You still have to fight through Para, and you're not going to one-shot Incin. You are going to one-shot Incin. Boo! That's super bad. Incineroar, yeah, it's a physically defensive. What is going on with this instant spread? No, this ain't right. I think I might have the wrong Incineroar. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that Incineroar spread. I guess I have to go Maushold here. There's not really any reason for you not to Bullet Punch, but I could Zap Cannon Scizor and follow me? Yeah, then you have to fight through Paralysis to hit me, at least. Bullet Punch does a ton, because it's Life Orb Scizor. I wonder if at 90% we can get the KO. We don't have a lot of special attack investment. Yeah, not quite. Any full para? Nah. Okay. Full pairs would be great right now. I'm going to go for Protect and KO Scizor. But they read that and go for a Protect of their own. I mean, they're still fighting through Para to do that. Alright, Bullet Punch. Full Para on Glim. That's what we needed. Alright. We're back in this game. Oh boy. And last Mon Garchomp. Glimmora is faster. We just went for Protect. Would you Protect Glimmora here? I think maybe. But actually I want to Zap Cannon Glimmora Wide Guard. Yeah, I think that's probably the play. Because if you Protect Glimmora, you're going to go for like Earthquake or Rock Slide. And if you Spiky Shield Dragon Claw Raichu, I lose. Nice. Okay. We are still in this. Zap Cannon Glim. Liquidation Garchomp. Now if you use a spread move and take out Raichu, I mean, that's just what happens. But if you go for a single target move, we're in a good position. Yeah, single target Dragon Claw. You have Life Orb, because that Rock Slide probably 2 shots if you do. Doesn't look like it. Huge damage, too. And a defense drop, just for fun. Yeah, let's see if you can win with Rock Slide. You need a flinch here. And 30% chance they win. Okay. A lot of stuff going on in that match, but it worked out. Whew. Good job, Araquanid. Oh boy, that was terrifying. GG. Alright, we're back. 4-0 with the Spider Mouse team. This was awesome. Maushold was great and Araquanid were both great. And so was Raichu. I mean, Floette was pretty good too. And Pelipper did some work, you know? Not a big fan of this Incineroar. But I hope you enjoyed. If you did, leave a like on this video. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And then go check out Jay Jingles in the description. But anyways, I'm Jordy. And, alright. Peace.